Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you live from Hungary, the capital city of Budapest. Welcome everyone. Good to see a member in nice and early. Hi Rekha, how are you doing? I'm glad you joined the last class as well. All right, students, so today we are focusing on IELTS speaking part 1, and our materials are coming from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, and for general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. It's for general IELTS. Download our app from iTunes or your Play Store. Look for our logo. Look for academic IELTS help. Hi Sarisha. Hi Harminder. Hi Maninderjeet. Good to see some more members. Hi Tina. Hi Choki. Hi Mubashir. All right, students coming in from different parts of the world. Hello, everybody. All right, my email address is adrian@aehelp.com. That's my academic IELTS help email address. You can contact me there if you have questions about IELTS, our products and services. We have writing and speaking help on our websites. So many students around the world use this. We have professional native speaking English speakers for mock IELTS speaking interviews and for editing task 1, task 2 essays. So check that out. Hi, Aigul. Wave back at you. Okay, students, as usual, our academic IELTS live streaming is from 15 to 16 o'clock according to Central European Time, CET. You can check the time zone difference by Googling CET time now. And today, again, speaking part 1, we'll look at part 2 as well. And tomorrow, we'll take a look at a graph, task 1, academic question. Then 1st of March, we'll be looking at a listening practice, and then on the 2nd, members chat class. It's one of the benefits, perks of being a member is that you get to request classes. I have a great task 2 question for that. Maninderjeet, I'm going to use the task 2 question you sent me in an email in the last 24 hours, so that'll be good. Okay, students, let's get right into it. So this is a speaking class. Please repeat me nice and loud, okay? Don't just study inside of your head, but bring it into the real world. Hear yourself, move your tongue, listen to yourself, okay? Zin, Nina, how can you be a new member? There should be a join button. If you don't see the join button on our channel, it might not be available in your country. Okay, students, so repeat, okay? Repeat questions, repeat answers. All right, you'll have a chance to answer on your own. Let's warm up our IELTS speaking brain cells and muscles. Let's start by the examiner questions. We go into the exam, we feel good, we feel confident. We arrived early, and now we get called into the interview room, and we're ready for that first question, which is, what is your full name? Students, answer that question. Even if you practiced it 1,000 times and you're sure you know what you're going to say, practice it again. It gives you confidence, okay? Have that answer preloaded, all right? Preloaded. So, what is your full name? All right, here we go. And the examiner's matching that with, of course, your passport. Okay, this is mine here. Repeat after me. My given names are John Allen and my surname is Smith. Please call me Al. Okay. Preeti says my surname is Preeti. My given name is Preeti. You can call me Preeti. All right. I think you meant to say maybe my surname is Sinha and my given name is Preeti. Harminder says, my surname is Dinsda and my given name is Harminder, but please just call me Harminder. Okay. Mubashir says, my full name is Mubashir Ahmed Shaikh, and you can just call me Mubashir. All right. Abid says, you can call me Abid. So Abid Hossein Sa, you can call me Abid. That works. All right. Okay, students. So again, have that question ready to go. Okay, preloaded and ready to go. And then they will say, okay, for part 1, I will ask you a couple questions to get to know you better, and some questions on a general topic. Now, again, one big trick, okay, this is our first strategy for today, is always be excited about IELTS questions, okay? Always be excited about IELTS Task 1 questions or Part 1 questions right from the very beginning. Okay, students respond emotionally in task 1 a few different ways. Okay, some students are really nervous, like nail biting nervous. They've never been in the IELTS before. It's a very important exam. Continuing school or moving to another country depends on their grade, so they're very nervous. Okay, calm down if you're that person. Just calm down, take it easy. Being too nervous will not help you. There are some students who are very angry, okay? They've got steam coming out their ears, and they're super angry because they've taken the IELTS 2, 3, 4 times. They keep failing it. They think it's just a money scam. IELTS people just want a lot of money, and they need to pass, and they're angry. So they're like, oh, okay, same thing. Calm down, okay? Take it easy. Just focus, all right? Some students, they're kind of bored. They're disinterested, okay? Their parents are making them take it. They have to take it for university. They're not that excited about it. They're very bored by it. So they're kind of like, oh, it's another English exam that I have to do. All right. Get excited, okay? So just focus. Again, don't let your emotions get the better of you. Don't let your emotions decrease your score. Be calm, be happy, be confident, be focused, okay? That's what you should feel no matter who you are, okay? Be calm, happy, focused, and excited to take IELTS. It's the right attitude. Attitude matters a lot, okay? Why am I saying all of this information? Well, because some of the Part 1 questions can be very, very common. Questions that you've heard 1,000 times in your English classes from 10 different English teachers, and you might be getting just bored with the same question. What is your hobby? Where do you live? What do you do? Okay. But on the IELTS, it's different because you're getting marked. Okay. You're getting a score. So you need to just step back, think clearly, answer completely. Okay. So when the examiner asks you, where do you live? Then don't just say, I live in a house. Okay. That is not a band 9 answer. All right. And your IELTS band score kind of starts from the beginning. The examiner is marking you all the way from the beginning. So you need to be much more clear. And I can already see some students have put up answers, so I'll read those, okay? Look at the chat, students. Amina Al-Najjar says, I live in Jordan. I'm very happy in this country because originally I'm from Syria, and it's similar here. Okay, notice my corrections, Amina. Amina, if you want to listen to those corrections again, just take a note of the timestamp. So that was at 9 minutes, 39 seconds. So I'll read many students' answers. Make sure to repeat And if you miss what I'm saying or my corrections on a piece of paper or with your computer, take a screenshot and take note of the time in the video, and then you can come back and review that. Okay? So as I'm correcting, make sure to repeat and pay attention to this to the timestamp. Okay. All right. Begzod says, let's jump back a little bit. I live in a flat with my siblings, my brother and sister, in the capital of Uzbekistan, Tashkent. It is located in the center of the city. Okay, Begzod, it's good. Just the last sentence there. My apartment or my flat is located in the center of the city. You can't use the pronoun it. You have to say my flat again. Okay? Otherwise, it's a bit confusing. Okay, Preeti says, I live in a very popular tourist destination called Udaipur city. It is in the western part of India in the state of Rajasthan. And it's also known as the City of Lakes or Lake City. I think City of Lakes is better. Okay, that's a nice answer as well. Okay, I'll give you my answer, and that's what you need to do, students. So those students, those are some good, nice, complete answers, all right? I live in an 80 square meter apartment in the heart of Budapest with my wife and 2-year-old daughter. Okay, that's my answer there. Again, you don't need to overdo it. Students, please don't just keep talking and talking and talking. Stay focused on the answer. Don't go off topic. Find that sweet spot. So I live in an 80 square meter apartment in the heart of Budapest with my wife and 2-year-old daughter. Okay, so just a very brief where I live, the actual building, the location, the city, and then who I live with. Answering those three is more than enough for this question. So find that sweet spot. Okay, that's my tip number 2. Remember tip number 1, get excited. Okay, it's not a boring question. I don't care if you heard it 1,000 times. Here it's IELTS. You paid good money. You want to give good, complete answers. So tip number 2, find the right length of answers. Not too short, not too long. What is that? If I had to say, it's usually 3 simple sentences, or better yet, 2 complex sentences. Okay? Do not keep talking until the examiner stops you. I know some students hear these instructions from certain courses and people, and they say, oh, just keep talking till the examiner stops you. Don't do that, okay? That will make the listening very confusing, and it will drop your score, okay? All right. If I missed your answer, don't worry. I will get different answers for each question, all right? Here we go. Next question. What did you do this morning? What did you do this morning? Answer that question for me. What did you do this morning? Begzod, you're preempting. That's okay. Begzod says, today I woke up early around 5 and went for a walk. Then I had a good fruit salad, so I have enough energy for this speaking interview. Begzod, that's a really nice answer. Clearly, you're paying attention to these classes, okay? That's a Band 9 level answer. All right, that's how you do it. Harminder Singh says, not much, not so much. As usual, I woke up early in the morning and prayed to my God. after getting ready for this exam. Okay, Harminder, not bad. Give me some quantitative information. You said you woke up early in the morning. What time? Okay, just like Begzad. Begzad says 5 a.m. What's early for you, Harminder? Give me quantitative information. Your band score goes up. Quantitative means numbers. So Harminder, you could say, not much. As usual, I woke up early in the morning around 5:30 a.m. And prayed for half an hour to my God after spending 2 hours getting ready for the exam. That will bump up your score. Okay, that will bump up your score. Vikramjit says, please read my answers, sir. My surname is Kumari and my given name is Sapna. Vikramjit, don't worry. If I miss yours, I'll get you on the next one. I can't read everybody's answers all the time, but I'll read everybody's at one point or another. Okay. Tahura Ikrar says, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and then I prayed. Okay. And revised, not revised, but reviewed, Tahura, and reviewed my notes for the IELTS exam. Okay, that works all right. Just notice my corrections. Again, students, when I'm correcting you, pay attention to the time in the video. It's at 16:20 right now, so you can check back later, okay? Maninderjeet says, well, I woke up at 5 a.m. and did 10 to 12 exercises for about 45 minutes. After that, I had breakfast with my family and then attended my patients. Maninderjeet, that's a really nice answer, okay? Good quantitative language, and there's good use of time subordinating conjunction after that, okay? So I'll take Maninderjeet's for mine as well. Something similar. Well, I woke up this morning at the usual time of 6:30 a.m. Did some yoga. I usually like doing yoga. Did some yoga for about 45 minutes. And after that, had breakfast with my family before coming to this speaking exam. Okay, again, notice that I'm making one complex sentence here. I'm not over-speaking, using quantitative language, and reflecting grammar. Okay, did you do? I did. Okay, did there, all right? You have to show that. Again, quantitative, 6:30 a.m., 45 minutes. Use that language. Use that quantitative language. All right, it's very, very important. Okay. Then the examiner will say, all right, that is good. So far, they won't say that's good. They'll say, okay, now let's talk about children. So they will introduce the general topic of part one. Okay, in this case, let's talk about children. All right. Now, when you hear that, what should you do? What should you do? What should you do when you hear this, let's talk about children? That's a signal that's planned, so they're not just doing that by accident or just to do it. The IELTS examiners are trying to help you when they introduce the topic of part one. So the examiner says, okay, let's talk about children. What should you do? Lexman, you're answering the first question, which is okay. We'll get there. But first, I want you to tell me, what should you do? If you don't have children, that's okay. Don't worry about it. They still will ask you these questions, and it's not you don't necessarily have to have children. Sevgi Rabia says, think about words related to children. Absolutely. So right away, think about other words related to children, especially for the topic. So here's your next tip. Okay. So remember, tip 1, be excited about these questions. Tip 2, find the right length of answers. Not too long, not too short. Tip 3, here we go. Students, again, all of these, remember them and you'll get a band 9 for sure. Tip 3, when you hear the topic of part 1, immediately think of associated words, so connected words, especially synonyms for the topic word if possible. Okay, so the example here is children. Okay, what are some other words for children? Muhammad, very good, says kids, juvenile, Sagar Saini. Yeah, kids. If you're wanting to show lexical resource, juvenile is a good one. Okay, juvenile means under the age of 18. Baby, toddler, infants, teenagers are all excellent suggestions, students. Good job, all right? That's quick thinking. That's what you think of, okay? So children, kid, juvenile, teen, adolescent, baby, infant, toddler, okay? So you want to weave these words, okay? You want to kind of weave these words into your responses. By weaving these words into your responses, that will help to improve your lexical resource, okay? That will absolutely help your lexical resource. Tip 4 is visualize, okay? See children. Remember school. Think of your kids if you have kids. If you don't have kids, think of your what? If your brother or your sister has kids, who might you think of? Youth is a good one, students, absolutely. You might think of your nephews, right? Nieces. Okay, again, some good vocabulary there, right? So visualize that. Omaima, good job. Nephews, absolutely. Okay, good. So now the question's coming at you, and it's fast, right? So it's coming quickly. Let's talk about children. Do you have any children? Give me a nice answer to this question. Do you have any children? If yes, give me a nice, complete answer. If no, give me a nice, complete answer. Don't just say, no, I don't, or yes, I do. That will not give you a good band score, okay? So this is too short. No, I don't, or yes, I do, are too short. Okay, you need something more. All right? All right, I see some good answers coming up. I'll check those out. Okay, let's start with Preeti. Sina says, yes, I have a daughter. She is 7 years old and studying in 2nd grade. Her name is Prisha. Very good, Preeti. Excellent. All right, Sevgi Rabia says, no, I don't have any kids. Plural there, Sevgi. No, I don't have any kids, but I would like to start a family in the next few years. In the future, I hope to have a son named Thomas and a daughter named Sarah. If you're being really creative, Sevgi, you can do that, okay? But it's great. It's a good answer, Sevgi. Maybe a little bit more, okay? Laxman Pandey says, this is an interesting question, but I don't have any kids yet as I'm not married. In fact, I'm not mature enough to get married and have babies just yet. Laxman, that's okay. Careful not to go off topic and get lost in your ideas, but it's not bad, okay? I would probably avoid saying that's an interesting question. It's not that uncommon. All right, Mehmet Kurtulus says, no, I don't have any for now, but I'm planning to. Instead, I do have 18 nieces and nephews, and I love them so much. Mehmet, that's also a really nice answer, okay? You're doing a good job by saying, instead, I do have 18 nieces and nephews. You should be maybe a little bit more specific, like I have 10 nieces and 8 nephews, but that's good, okay? That's a good answer. Hamza says, well, actually, yes, I have my little sister whose name is Noor, and she's 3 years old, and we have lots of fun together every single day. Hamza, do you have any children, not any siblings? Careful about the question. Okay, so here's my answer. Coming up, yes, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. Her name is Sabella, and I would definitely like to have at least one more child in the coming years. Okay. Yeah, so showing intention to this kind of question is a good idea, students. So when the question is, do you have this or do you like that? Even if your answer is no, then to show intentions, but I would like to or I never plan to, is a good way to stretch your answer a bit and increase that band score, okay? So always indicate why and indicate intention. That will help you to give the right length of answer and get a higher band score. So that's my tip number 5 for you today, okay? So tip 5 is always focus on answering why, and it is often a good idea to explain your intentions. Like, I do not have any children at the moment, and I don't plan to in the coming half decade because I'm very focused on my studies and profession. Okay, I'm just making that up, but showing you intent. Okay, so I'm showing you intent here. What is your intention? What do you want to do? What do you want in life? Okay, that will help you add that extra little bit to your response, and that will improve that band score. All right, just make sure it's clear. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Who has kids in your family? So answer this one for me, students. Who has kids in your family? Okay. Who has kids in your family? Give me a nice, clear, full sentence answer to that. Yasser, I'm reading your comment. You're saying that your class is on Saturday and your birthday's on the same day. Well, Yasser, I hope that you have a very positive birthday and you get a really good high band score on your exam. It's quite an intense situation to celebrate your birthday with an IELTS exam, so my heart goes out to you and I wish you the best of luck. I'll keep my fingers crossed for a nice high band score as a birthday present for you. All right. Begzad says, currently only my brother has a child, Anwar. He is 4 years old and I love him, especially his smile. That's a nice answer, Begzad. Good job. Okay. Harminder says, my cousin has a baby girl, 1.5 years old, whose name is Kismat Preet Kaur Dinsta. However, I always spend my free time with my niece Kismat. Okay, not however, Harminder, because there's no opposition there. Instead, it's a relationship, so therefore. So Harminder, one more time. Notice it's at 29 minutes, so come back and check this again later, okay? My cousin has a baby girl, 1.5 years old. Her name is Kismatpreet Kaur Dinsda. And I always spend my free time with her, my niece. Okay. All right. Pachu says, let me see if I can catch you there, Pachu. I think it was gone. Pachu says, my brother has 2 sons, and they all read in English boarding school. They're 12 and 6 years old. Okay, let me correct that for you, Pachu. So my brother has 2 sons, and they all attend English boarding school. One is 6, the other is 12. That's the correct way to say that, Pachu. Usually the lower year comes first and the higher year comes second in the response, okay? So pay attention to that. And then, Pachu, you can finish that by saying, and I'm very proud of my nephews. I'm going to take yours as the answer, Pachu, and just correct it, okay? So my brother has 2 sons. Pete and Dave. I'm just making up their names here, Pachu. Pete and Dave. They currently attend English boarding school, and they are 6 and 12. I love my nephews very much, and I'm proud that they can speak English. Okay, and then definitely stop there. Don't go off topic, okay? So again, repeat after me, students. My brother has 2 sons, Pete and Dave. They currently attend English boarding school, and they are 6 and 12. I love my nephews very much, and I'm proud that they can speak English. That will get you a good band score, all right? Okay. Sevgi, let's read yours. There used to be a lot of children in my family about 10 years ago, but now we are all grown up. But the next generation is on the way. Recently, my cousin had a new baby boy. He's just 2 months old. Sevgi, really nice. That's a really nice answer. Again, you're thinking outside of the box, which is fantastic, okay? So there used to be a lot of children in my family 10 years ago. Is a very nice, complex, high-level response. But now we're all grown up, okay? Now we're all grown up. It's nice. I like it. Okay, it's good. It's a solid response. All right, students. So, again, let's remember these tips before we go on to the next question. Here we go. Even if you're not too excited about kids right now, you're 20 years old, you're more focused on girlfriends, boyfriends, getting married, you're not too excited about IELTS, you just need a good score so you can go to university or go to another country. Remember, tip number 1, always be excited about IELTS. Costs a lot of money. You want to get a high score. Don't be nervous. Don't be stressed. Be calm, happy, focused. Okay. Tip number 2, find the right length of answers. All right. Don't speak for too long. A really cool way to think about the right length of answer is a text message or this YouTube chat that you're writing into. Your answer should fit into one chat response, okay? Keep that in mind, all right? So don't keep talking until the examiner stops you. Think about it this way. The usual high-level response in IELTS speaking should, interestingly, and it works out well for these live classes, should fit into a YouTube live class chat response. So if you're only writing one line into the chat, it's probably too short. If you need to start writing into a second paragraph, especially a full second text or chat response, it's probably too long. It should fit into one. It's kind of a neat, interesting way to think about it, okay? Tip number 3, when you hear the topic of part 1 here, let's talk about children, right away think about kids, juveniles, teens, adolescents. How many of you have used these words in your answers? Okay, have you used them enough? I don't think I've used them enough. I should probably use them more. So let's focus on that for the next questions. Okay, tip number 4, visualize. Okay, see children, remember your school days, think of your nephews, your nieces, all right? And tip number 5, always answer why. Okay, why is that? And think of your intention. Let's go on to the next question. How often do you see them? So how often do you see children in your family? Okay, another way to ask that. How often do you see children in your family? Okay, so give me a good response for that one. Okay, this is in connection to the previous question. All right. How often do you see children in your family? Remember, quantitative language, use synonyms, use complex language. Push those scores up, up, and up. Okay, connect your ideas. All right, Maninderjeet says, well, my niece, Aishmeen, lives in England, and I usually meet her once every 2 to 3 years because it's expensive to travel and requires a lot of planning. However, I wish I could see her more often, although I do get to chat with her through Skype at least once a month. So Maninderjeet, that was a little bit too short. Okay, you need a little bit more there. All right. Aigul says, unfortunately, I don't have much opportunity to meet with them face to face as they live in another city. But thanks to gadgets nowadays, I see them using Skype or WhatsApp on my phone quite regularly. Okay, Aigul, that's good. All right, that's good. Again, notice those corrections. Mark that timestamp. Sedra Al-Sayed says, well, my uncle has 2 kids, one daughter and a son, but I don't see them enough just in the summertime because they live in another country. Which country, Sedra, do they live in? Okay, name the country because they live in, and then name the country. All right? Instead of kids, you could say son and daughter. Rekha says, as I explained earlier, I have one baby girl. She's 3 years old and lives with me. So I'm with her all the time. We go outside to play, and she is learning while I'm doing domestic work. Okay. However, she's in daycare from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so Rekha, you need a little bit of clarity there. It's a little bit confusing what you're saying. I tried to clear it up. Focus on that. Okay. Baljit says, well, we spend ample time with each other on Christmas Eve and during summer vacations. In addition, this year we're planning to visit London in November. A lot of students seem to confuse the word however. However, students, is opposite. Okay, it's when something is an opposite. All right. Baljit, going to London in November is not opposite to spending summer vacations and Christmas together. Okay, it's additive, so it's an in addition. If you make a mistake with conjunctions, it will decrease your score. So careful. Making mistakes with conjunctions can be very confusing for the listener. Okay, so you have to be really careful not to misuse words like however. All right. Okay, so here I'll give you my answer. Of course, I see my daughter Bella every day since she is only 2.5. So she doesn't attend kindergarten just yet. This is a precious time for my wife and I, and we enjoy every moment. Okay. So again, thinking of the examiner as my grandparent, grandfather, grandmother, they don't know what I know. They don't know that kids these days have to go to kindergarten from age 3. Okay. Back in the day, it used to be age 5. So I want to make that clear and give reasons. Again, explain why. Okay. So repeat after me. Of course, I see my daughter Bella every day since she is only 2.5, so she doesn't attend kindergarten just yet. This is a precious time for my wife and I, and we enjoy every moment. Natural, there's some complex language with the word since, showing cause and effect. Okay, keep that in mind. So make sure you understand your conjunctions, all right? There's a couple ways to spell the word kindergarten, Jackie. So, all right. Ahmed, Monem, I missed your answer. I don't know where it is, but don't worry. I'll get it on the next one, okay? All right, let's jump a question. Let's go to this one here. Let's go to this one here. When do parents need to be strict with their kids? So answer this question for me. When do parents need to be strict with their kids? Here you have time, okay? Pay attention to the W questions. When is time, right? The previous question that we skipped is where. That's location, okay? Immediately focus on the type of question. So here, when you have time, you should immediately think numbers. Okay, or quantity. All right. So think about a good answer to this question. When do parents need to be strict with their kids? Be clear, be respectful, okay? Visualize, right? And don't overtalk or don't overspeak. This type of question, it's easy to just keep talking and talking and talking. Don't do that. Okay, keep it simple. Think about what 9 from 10 people would say. All right. Ahmed says, misbehaving in screen time. Okay, Ahmed, you need to put that into a full sentence. I get what you're saying, but I can't give you a good mark if you don't give me a full sentence. Ali Zoli says, I think normally it's not necessarily to be strict with youth, but when it comes to being punctual, they should be strict. Okay, being punctual, Ali, being punctual, being on time, I think is what you're saying. Gzurshid says, presumably they ought to be strict when children do something wrong, I mean in their behavior. Zurkshid, you should give me an example right away. For instance, if they break the TV controller, fighting for which cartoon to watch, parents should not allow their children to watch television for at least 2 months. Okay, so something like that, Zurkshid. So in your answer, you want to give me an example to make it more clear. All right. Aigul says, traditionally, I have fun with my nephew and little sister in the park as there are many forms of entertainment. Besides the fresh air, they can interact with other toddlers. Aigul, you're not answering the question. Maybe you didn't understand it clearly. Be careful. Aigul, I think you're answering the previous question where we're looking at the when do parents need to be strict. Okay. All right, let's see some other answers. Chinky Wadhwa says, well, if kids do not concentrate on their studies or misbehave with elders, at that time, their guardians should be strict. A good form of punishment is revoking their privileges, like watching television. Chinky, that's a good answer. Okay. All right. Well, in certain situations, such as when children misbehave, or if they do not complete their homework, it is the responsibility of guardians, of their guardians, to dish out appropriate punishment, such as revoking their privileges, like no television for a month. All right, so I'm sticking with this answer. Just repeat after me. Well, in certain situations, such as when children misbehave or if they do not complete their homework, it is the responsibility of their guardians to dish out appropriate punishment, such as revoking their privileges, like no television for a month. Okay, students, notice a couple interesting steps that I'm taking here to make sure that I get a high band score. Okay. First of all, I use the conditional correlating conjunctions when and if. Okay. Dish out. I'm using a nice expressions or phrasal verb there. Okay. To give appropriate punishment. Revoke is a nice high-level verb, means to take away. Okay, and it's immediately followed by a nice piece of vocabulary, privileges. Okay, and then an example. There's my example there. With quantitative information for a month. So no television for a month. So it's got good complexity. Okay, clear answer, good quantitative language, great lexical resource. So it includes all of those elements to give me that high IELTS band score. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Simranjit says, certainly when a child makes some mistakes, if they do not alter them, the parents must be strict towards their toddler, especially if those mistakes are dangerous, such as playing with scissors. Simranjit, that was good. Note the corrections at 48 minutes. Okay. All right. That is good. Kisi Zhang, let's see what you have. Hi, Kisi. Good to see you in class. Okay, Kisi says, when kids have bad behaviors, like telling a lie or stealing money, the parents should be strict. Yesterday, my nephew was punished because he stole $100 from my father's wallet. Kisi, good. Just be careful with your pronoun. They should be strict. The they means the children, not the parents. So if you're not sure, Kisi, about the pronoun, use the subjective noun, parents or guardians. That will make it much more clear. Okay, it will be more certain that you don't make a mistake. Okay, so here are a couple more questions for you. How has raising children these days changed from 20 years ago? Okay, how has raising children these days changed from 20 years ago? And if you could teach something to a child, what would it be? So think about answers for those two questions. That will be for homework. And then here is a part 2 question for homework. talk about an object you use to stay healthy. If you were in our general IELTS class a couple hours ago, then you got the same homework. There we did part 3, now we did part 1, and here's part 2. So think about a good answer for this part 2. Talk about an object you use to stay healthy. What is this object? Where did you get it? How do you use it? How does it help you stay healthy? You have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this. Okay? So that's the homework, students. These last 2 questions, starting from how has raising children these days changed from 20 years ago? And then finishing with this part 2 question, talk about an object you use to stay healthy. Record your answer on your mobile phone. So record it on your phone and send it to my email. Okay? Email me your voice recording, adrian@aehelp.com. All right? I will tell you your band score estimate. So I will tell you roughly what you would get if you gave that response for that question in the IELTS. Okay? So practice that part 2 question and those remaining part 1 questions. Remember, students, to really practice speaking and these tips every single day. You can find speaking partners on our websites. You can also, if you go to our website, this is academic English help right here. So it's aehelp.com. Okay. When you log in to your account, I want to show you this real quick. So when you log into your account, you have these 2 options here. One is student partner speaking, and the other is speaking interview practice. You can actually connect with me or another professional through Skype and practice your speaking interview and get feedback. So it's very valuable, or you can also find other students to practice with. So I definitely recommend using those services, students. Okay? If you're a general IELTS student, then you have the same services just on this website. It's gieltshelp.com. Okay? So click that big red button. Join us there. Again, for academic IELTS, it's this website here, aehelp.com. Click that big red button and join us there. Okay, students, that's it for me for today for the academic IELTS class. Tomorrow we will be doing task 1, writing, graphs, and charts. Again, if you have questions, you can email me. I'm happy to help you. Great participation today. Good job, students. Some fantastic answers. You're very welcome, Hicham. You're very welcome, Anmina. Keep up the good studies, students. You're all smart, beautiful people. Remember that. Never let life get you down. Always get back up. Push forward. Those who do are the winners. Bye for now, everyone. Much love.